All right.
Let's do it.
We're going to start with Steve. Is social media helping or hurting the real estate world? For example, is it painting a false picture of real estate, especially in today's climate?
So was not going to go with that. Missed that little nuance there. So I was going to say it was helping real estate. Where I was going with this was that is it painting a false picture? Perhaps a little bit, but I think it does provide that inspiration for people to get into the business. And I think that the big thing that I look at is that it gives an opportunity to a lot of people that otherwise wouldn't have the resources to get started in the business and create an entrepreneurial lifestyle. Break away from their W-2, chase their passions, change their family legacy. So for me, I would say that it's good. Social media is good for real estate because it gives a lot of people an opportunity to exit a life that they may not be passionate about.
Okay. All right. Couple seconds left on the board. Starting off quick. Let's go to the titanium man himself, RJ Bates. Your opinion?
Steve starting out strong this week, not really knowing what he was trying to say there. I think that social media in 2022 helps real estate. Maybe go back to 2016, 2017. Yeah, there was a lot of false pictures being painted. But now the influencer space has kind of changed the narrative where they're okay sharing the negative side of real estate. Failures just as much as the wins. So I think today it helps. It shows the good and the bad. And I apologize if I sound like I'm talking slow, but the echo is just terrible for me.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an echo. We'll try to figure out if it's on our end, so we apologize for that one.
Okay, sorry about that.
All good, all good. Leon G. Barnes, your thoughts?
Today, gotta love this one. Well done, fellas. So the false picture is from this show. If you're talking about social media, it basically this show says that RJ and CJ are winners. Having a little fun, of course, but overall, I personally think that social media is good for the real estate industry. Are there bad apples in front of their Lambos with hashtags? Eric and I talked about that earlier this week. Of course, there's bad apples in everybody. Look at attorneys. It happens, right? But to Steve's little bit of a point that he had when it comes to the education that's available to real estate investors and those that are starting out, what does it do? It gives sellers across the United States more options, right? And that's a good thing.
Okay. And Eric Brewer, bring us home on question number one. Is social media helping or hurting the real estate world? Eric?
Shut everything down.
There you go.
Okay, two things I'd like to before I get into my time. One, I'd like to get a teleprompter like Steve Biden has. He clearly reads each of his answers directly from the teleprompter, which is super lame. Number two, the only thing worse than hearing Steve talk once is when you have an echo and you have to hear everything twice. So that's just really bad. But I would, no pun intended, he's reading a teleprompter again. What should I say? He's going to go end of answer. Go ahead, say it, Steve. Say
end of answer.
End of answer.
End of answer.
Oh, now he's muted. This is the best ever. So I would say, a little bit of what everybody said is social media is a resource. That's good or bad. But I think it's a very useful tool. It's given people access to information they wouldn't. Quite frankly, everybody on this call in some way got connected probably through social media. So I think it's a very powerful tool, but just like anything else, it needs to be used the right way. And with social media, I think you just need to trust a little bit, but verify a lot of what you see.
Okay. For everyone that's in the chat right now, the voting is now
Weez, if you think Steve won, speak up.
open. I cannot confirm nor deny who my
Silent.
voting is with. Okay.
Not a peep.
Gentlemen, the floor is open to agree or to disagree, and the chat is now open for voting.
Yes.
Hello?
I think
Test.
Banging with
what
Bang with Trang.
I think RJ did make a small good point there, which is that the evolution with influence and social media is that we've had to be more authentic over time. So we're seeing more truth now than before, right? 2019, 2020, or even earlier, it was the Lambos, it was the good hair, it was the I don't know, the fancy watches, this and that. And now we're seeing like, okay, like if you want to come through the noise right now on social media, you actually have to put out quality content, which requires you to be authentic. So, good point for RJ there.
To that point, if you watch RJ, just the two guys that are to your left and right here, these guys put out great content, whether it's through novations or the cold calling stuff that you see that RJ does. It's very valuable information. And to Eric's point, if you filter through it, you can find great resources through social media.
Okay.
But again, where I was going with this at the very beginning initially was that I think the best thing about social media is that we have this opportunity for people to get into real estate because we have so much information out there that you don't have to go to a 3-day seminar for $97 and get upsold to 1,000, get upsold into 20,000, get upsold to 50,000, right? I think that's the best thing that we've got going on with social media is you don't have to get brutalized by the guru industry like you had to 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Okay. Test. Can you guys hear me now?
We got you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Not sure what was going on. Any last points before we close the voting?
On social media about gurus is because there was no reality to what their posts were about and the stories that they were telling. That eventually had to change. I think we just as an industry adapted to that, and now it's more real.
I would like to see, though, a post from RJ in some Prince boots.
Absolutely not. The voting looks like it should be closing here, but I don't think if we gave it a couple more seconds, it would change anything because it looks like RJ
Are you
beats.
talking, Weasel?
Yeah, test. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I'm the only one that can't hear Weasel then.
All right. Well, yeah,
there
we're
he is.
working through some audio things. Can you hear me now, Steve?
Yes.
All right. That's what question 1 is for, to work out the kinks, y'all. We had a long week off. We're forgetting some settings, but we're good. The voting breakdown right now is very one-sided. So regardless of when that closes, it looks like we have a clear-cut winner, and RJ Bates the third with 53%. So he is back on track doing what he does, my guy. That's a first W for you. How you feeling?